First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Off the play fake, Prescott. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
It's zone defense right away here defensively, and I know that these linebackers and DBs are going to be tested throughout. They passed the first test, though. This one falls incomplete.
2nd and 10. To throw is Prescott. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Prescott now. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
That's a play that may get lost in the grand scheme of things, but one thing's for sure. You certainly don't want to go 3 and out to start the game. So that's a nice job of finding the right play call and coming up with a 1st down.
This is Lamb on the end around. And some good running out of the gates as he takes this up to the 33. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Well, I sure wouldn't be surprised if we see more of this as this game goes on because we know they like to use their wideouts either on quick throws or on jet sweeps like what we just saw there. And to say that that one worked well, partner, that's stating the obvious.
They'll run here, the former Longhorn with it. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 9. They'll try and run again with Blue. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy 1st down.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. Wide open receiver complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical. They've been crisp. And as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
Throwing. Prescott. And it's caught. Touchdown. Dak Prescott with a connection to CeeDee Lamb. And the Cowboys will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Well, down here, I thought they were going to hand that off. Instead, a well-designed play and the pitch and catch for the touchdown.
And I wonder who came up with it. Was it a call from the bench? Did the quarterback have a good idea and suggest it? In any event, clearly an effective play call. They saw something they liked in coverage, and they targeted it for the short yardage throw.
And the perfect way to cap their opening drive. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Off the bootleg, it's Williams. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Here's a 2nd and 5. First carry for DeAndre Swift. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now a 2nd and 6. Once again, it's Swift. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Williams from the gun on 3rd down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have the Bears first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
Down at the 35, it'll be 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And he'll be taken down at the 34. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. To throw, it's Williams. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Mozzie Smith, he fought through to record the sack.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
Here comes the Bears punter now. Kevontae Turpin deep for the Cowboys. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. 2nd drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Able to hit his target, Lamb. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Now Prescott. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Kyler Gordon picks it off. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown. Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets them on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick six.
And I know from experience throughout the week, when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick sixes and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Cowboys about set to take over on offense. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone. Well, that's absolutely going to fire this defense up. They made it their mission to deny that completion, and they came through with a nice hit and knocked it incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll run up the middle here with Blue. And he'll push forward for a couple to the 34.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Prescott from the gun. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Montez Sweat, the man that time to fight in and drop him. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick six, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick six, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And the Bears take over. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 44 now, here's 2nd and 4. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Looking to throw is Williams. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 down at the 33. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, Their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. Seven, our score after 1. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession. The Bears on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Williams. To the left side, into the hands of Adunze. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. They only needed about 4 or 5 inches there, relied on the big guys up front, and got it done.
Yeah, this is the time to just go ahead and hit it straight ahead. No juking, right? No movement in the backfield. Take the ball and go. As I heard a coach tell a player a long time ago, save your dancing for the club, son. Just get up into that line of scrimmage.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate. Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Throwing is Williams. And he's got it. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Swift. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. Call it a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. A great effort there. There to make the grab. And the Bears have taken the lead. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Here's Prescott. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try to run for it with Blue. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. Complete to Zacchaeus. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. They run out of the gun with Swift. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. To the air, Williams. And a dangerous throw there. Nearly intercepted on the sideline, but it's incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
They'll go play action here with Williams. And that's out to the flat for Swift. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
To throw, Williams. And he'll get this into the hands of Swift once again. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the 1st down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
On 1st down, it's Blue. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, You saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
They go again with blue. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Prescott. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
On is the punter, Brian Ager, to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at about the 14. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And out will come the offense as they take over. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Throwing to start the drive. Williams. He'll get this off to Swift. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Mozzie Smith. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. He found his way into the backfield, and he simply would not be denied.
Well, they say that life's all about opportunities, and that holds true when you're playing defense as well. How about him seeing that chance, making the most of it, did a great job of wrapping him up and bringing him down.
2nd and 14. And he's going to go down again. Credit that sack to Dante Fowler Jr. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll drop this one off to Swift. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
Yeah, big play there. And when you have a running back that you can use like a wide receiver, when he has that kind of versatility, you do as they did there. Get him out of the backfield and give those defensive backs something else to worry about.
That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively. It's 2nd down.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
Swift going to try up the middle. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And this is caught. He hits down near the 30-yard line. A big pickup of 12 yards on fourth down to keep this drive from stalling.
We always talk about big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. I think that fourth down qualified. That was a heck of a throw.
From the gun, here's Williams. And he'll go right back to Moore. Complete again. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Chicago offense set to get started. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like, because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Sets him up nicely. First and goal. It was a pickup of 14. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. This is caught. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Nice gain of 8 that time, and it's second and goal.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. Throwing again here, Williams. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Rome Odunze in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bears will extend their lead here just before halftime. That is a near-perfect end-of-half drive right there.
And we've seen that many times from the best in the league. But do you really expect to see it done that well by a rookie? And how about the timing? Finishing it almost near the zeros, as you said, right at the end of the half. Great momentum to carry into the locker room.
So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. And the Cowboys going to go on offense one final time in this first half. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. Likely time for one final snap as they start out first and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And the Bears offense set to go to begin the third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
53 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
What a way to start a drive. An excellent run, a tone setter, and now if you want to take a shot on second down and go play action and make it look like the same exact play and throw it over the top, you can do so because you've established the run in a big way.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Swift. And that time the tackle by Malik Hooker.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Ball placed at the 45 for 2nd and 5. Here's a handoff to Swift. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman, the ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. To throw, it's Williams. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on to kick it away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this 2nd half.
Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete.
Oh, and that's kind of how it's gone for him so far. That was a ball they need to get back in this game. A quick strike, a big play. But he led his guy too far, and it winds up over his head.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Prescott now. And his throw here's incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Prescott. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And they will rally and stop him short of the 1st down. They get him to the ground at the 26.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down. And he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a 1st down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. Mozzie Smith there to bring him down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
Off the play fake, it's Williams. Sliding out of the pocket. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Looking to throw is Williams. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
They brought in a heavy set on third down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation, and sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Micah Parsons, the linebacker, in on the tackle. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. He's able to call his own number for 8 that time, but it leaves him with a third down.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on second down, they hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on second and long when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Here's Swift. And a solid run down inside the 30. 70 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on third down. Here's Williams. That one thrown across his body, and it's incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive, stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary, partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the fourth down.
Santos' kick is up and through, and they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7. And right now, Charles, this is about building that lead little by little, and they're able to do just that.
And it gets them past the key number of 16, so this is now a 3-score lead. Not time to exhale just yet, but that might prove to be an important 3 points before things are said and done.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Dallas offense set for this next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Well, another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
And Lamb going to have a Cowboys first down as he's up to the 44-yard line. To throw is Prescott. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Prescott. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They go draw here. Blue. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game. Here's
Brian Anger now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
It'll be a gain of 5, and now it's 3rd and 4.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
And the Cowboys here on 3rd down bringing in an extra defensive back. Throwing is Williams. Give him 7 on the tuck and run. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3 and out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. To the left side, into the hands of Adunze. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
To the air, Williams. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run here with Swift. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
7 yards there and a 1st down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. Here's Prescott. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy 1st down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. It's Gervon Dexter who got in to drop him.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Throwing, Prescott. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. That is caught, and he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the 1st.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding 2nd half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a 1st down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire 2nd half.
That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively. It's 2nd down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Prescott. And his throw is incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. And again, it's Prescott. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or two. It's no good, and the deficit will stay at 3 scores.
I don't care who you are. 60 yards is a very ambitious attempt. Hard to make even in practice in the best of conditions. And now, worst of all, you give the other guys the ball to start their drive at midfield.
Now a carry for Swift. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. 90 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And he'll take this down to the 33.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. To throw, Williams. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters, and this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th, but a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Prescott to throw it. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a first down.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. Prescott from the gun. Got an open man. It's Pickens. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Prescott yet again. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now Prescott. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
With the score where it is, this was probably going to be 4-down territory if they didn't convert there. But what a nice job of working his way open, making sure he secured the catch, and setting up 1st and goal.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Aubrey now for the point after. He's got it, and the score's now 27-14. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. Now there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. So 4th quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
What are
The defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Play action. Now Williams. And that will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the 1st there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know If they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. It'll be a 41-yard punt. Give them 5 on the return. Possession of the football going back to the Cowboys. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Able to hit his target, Lamb. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Another one to CeeDee Lamb. He's got it. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Prescott and Lamb hooking up for the Cowboy first. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. They'll throw again. Prescott. He finds Pickens over the middle. And he'll be taken down after a gain of about 8, as that will lead us to the 2-minute warning. Now Prescott. Tolbert hauls in the out route.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Here's 1st and 10. To throw, Prescott. He finds his man, complete. That's Ferguson. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Here's 1st down. Now Prescott. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
They go with blue between the tackles. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
I think that run gives us evidence that the defense is getting a little bit tired out there. They've been out in the field for a long time, and that last run, they just cut right through them.
A big play here. Crowd on their feet. 3rd and 4. Here's Prescott. A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down. Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. We got to have two hands on the football here as they run on first down. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. Here's a quick throw out left. That's caught. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The win for the Bears just around the corner. They go down to a knee. Here comes the Bears punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. One last shot now for Prescott. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
So it's the Bears who come away with a victory. And it was their quarterback who led the way, Charles. Pretty impressive play for a rookie.
Yeah, what struck me was how composed he was in the pocket. The numbers weren't spectacular. He had 2 touchdown passes, that's it. But he led his guys on some important drives when they needed it most, and they're going to come away with the victory.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports.